today. From Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, it's Week 2 of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles taking on Daniel Jones and the New York Giants.
It's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Just a short time ago, these Philly fans in full roar as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. Pyrotechnics ablaze. They're set to go as their Eagles will match up with the New York Giants. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Taken at the goal line. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. Philly's offense getting ready, and Jalen Hurts ready to lead them. The second-round pick who started his career at Alabama, then finished with an electric senior season in Oklahoma.
And he certainly had his share of struggles in the opener, threw a couple of ill-timed interceptions in the game. So that was something that was harped upon all week in practice. Because if he's going to help this team be a winning one, he can't give the football away like he did last week.
They'll throw on first down with Hurts. Flush to his right. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down.
Even though it's the opening drive of the game, he wasn't shy about taking off and running with the football, even knowing the defense is definitely going to take their shots at him. And that's exactly what they did. He better learn to slide, otherwise he won't be around to finish this one.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard. Hurts sets up to throw it. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They run the counter. It's Bryant, and he'll get 2, maybe 3 up near the 37. Well, this defense for the Giants, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
And that's not the half of it. They forced 7 turnovers in that game, and I know we always talk about turnovers coming in bunches once you force the first one. But 7? That seems almost impossible, but we watched it happen.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 41-yard line.
That was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
On first down, Bryant. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's 3rd down. Hurts. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their own 15. Good yardage as he gets this one up to about the 23. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. Off the play fake, Jones. He gets it to Thomas.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection. He'll be dropped at the 30. The shifty move couldn't free him. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Throwing, Jones. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. He's got him in. Complete. Oh, touchdown, Giants. A big play there. His 1st touchdown of the new season. And the Giants are going to take a 1st quarter lead. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. So that drive, 4 plays. And it was polished off by a Giants touchdown. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. This fielded right at the goal line. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. Now, early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game, but I think when it comes within your division like this, it's under pressure and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this 1st quarter. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. They run the counter. It's Bryant. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. Now, after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. The threat of a 2nd straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. Throwing is Hurts. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Lorenzo Carter drops him for a loss of 10, and it's going to be 4th and long.
That's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a 2nd one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They'll start here with Jackson. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And he's brought down.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down. And now the red flag out on the field. We'll have a challenge forthcoming. And we'll get a moment here as they look this one over.
Yeah, remember that.
So not successful there on the challenge, and he'll have to be careful from here on out because he'll only have one challenge remaining. He wants it all. But the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. Well, instead of fourth down after the incompletion, it'll be first down, roughing the passer.
Coaches love their defenses to be aggressive, but they want them to be smart as well. Have to leave the quarterback alone at a certain point.
And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Now Jones. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to third down. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
One thing you hope to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't, but he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
The kick by Bass is good, and the lead moves to 10-zip. So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about 1-score lead, 2-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Jalen Hurts in this offense trotting back out. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step up.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this second week of the regular season. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. Lorenzo Carter picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. That's number 4, sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. On third down, Bryant. And not much here as he'll get it to the 11, maybe the 12-yard line. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Eagles send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. 40-yard punt, give him 3 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Back on offense, New York gets set to take over. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. That catch good for only a couple. 2nd down and 8. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Dancing to his left. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. And that went a little too high as it's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, when you get a tight end who can run, you've got to give him a shot to unlock the defense. Want to see what they can get. Taking the big shot downfield. That one winds up incomplete.
Now Jones to throw on 3rd down. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
The Eagles offense going to take over late in this first half. And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range. On 1st down, Hurts. And he finds his target. It's Schultz. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Hurts. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 49. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. Before we came up to the booth, last thing he said as we were walking off the field, want to play mistake-free football. Well, that just went out the window there with a pick.
And do you remember what you said to me when we were walking up to the booth after he said that? You're like, oh, fatal last words. Every time we hear that, things tend to fall apart a little bit, and that's what we saw there. Didn't get enough on that throw, and it turned into an interception.
Jones now on 1st down. Looking left sideline, incomplete.
I think you have to chalk that one up for the defense there. Someone right on the spot, excellent coverage, didn't leave him enough room to come down inbounds, even though he did catch the football.
Here's 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Jones looking long for Thomas. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. The Giants going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. They'll look to throw again. Escaping the pressure right. He'll have a 1st down inside the 10. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Back to throw. Jones buying time to his left. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
They certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
On 2nd and goal, Jones flushed out right. And he's got it. Touchdown, Giants. A great effort there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Giants would extend their lead here just before halftime. So this offensive unit, yeah, they were solid in the opening week victory, and now they are looking just as sharp here in week 2.
And that's exactly what you want, too, because you want to get better each and every week and really ramp up as the season goes on. I know it's still early in the season and a lot can happen, but this offense, they look like they're going to be fun to watch each and every time out.
So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The final second ticks by, and that's going to do it for the first half of play. So we come upon halftime here with the visiting Giants out on top. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit.
And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. Second half ready to get rolling. The Giants with a lead, and they are set to receive this kick. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. So now the Giants set to take over on offense. Last week they got the victory against the San Francisco 49ers. They've got the lead in this one as well right now. Flush to his right. We'll get this complete to Kadarius Toney. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he is finally out of bounds, but he gets all the way down right around the 20. It's a big-time play there for the G-Men.
The timing was absolutely true as he caught it working across the field. Plenty of space for him to roam, but notice how he keeps his head on a swivel, looking for defenders who may crop up out of nowhere. That turned into a big play.
Kadarius Toney is intended target, and now it's second down. On the ground, this is Jackson, and he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense.
And that is caught. He's got it for a Giant touchdown. A great play there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Giants take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Tyler Bass now for the point after. And the lead is now 24. 5 plays there on that drive. And it was finished off by a touchdown by the New York Giants. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Already at the line. this Philly offense set to go. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. And this is going to be an Eagles first down as he's got this up to about the 34-yard line. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
From the 40 now on 2nd down. Hurts. This ball tipped, and it's going to be incomplete. Fortunate maybe to get that back. It's 3rd down. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 44-yard line. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talked about his training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have Hurts fumbles it.
And the Giants have it. It's picked up, and his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. Well, if these guys wanted to get back in this game, they needed an almost perfect second half, and down 3 scores. A lost fumble here certainly doesn't fit into that plan.
That reminds me of my plan in college to get an A on the papers I turned in, but that didn't work out too well either. Too many mistakes by both of us. I mean, that's just pure and simple. And that's why that's exactly where they are in this ball game. They're going to need a huge turnaround if they want to try and win this one. What a savvy read by the running back. He saw his quarterback was out of the pocket in a little bit of trouble. He just broke off his route and took off deep downfield. Thought for a second there they had him, but they were unable to connect for a big play.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
Eluding the pressure right. He's got a man. It's his fullback. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Escaping the pressure right. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Daniel Jones taking it in from 11 yards out. And the Giants are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead. So I tell you what, Charles, I know that you don't put a ton of stock into power rankings and things of that nature, but another score here, and 2 weeks into the season, this is maybe the most impressive team in the NFL. Would you agree?
Well, they've certainly sold me as they've sold you, and I agree with you. No question about it. They won easily last week. They're on their way to another lopsided victory here. They're definitely a team to be reckoned with, and they are serving notice to the rest of the league.
Extra point by Bass, up and good. And the lead will swell by one more. So that drives 7 plays in length. And in the end, the finishing touch, an 11-yard run. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Eagles offense back out, getting set for this next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. He finds his man, complete. It's Roth. Oh, he faked it with a juke. Now he's got some room. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A big play that time through the air. 34 yards.
Well, that's something you haven't had to talk about much this game. A nice big play right there. But this team, overall, they haven't done a whole lot offensively.
Well, they're still sitting on the goose egg. We talk about defenses having pride in a shutout. This offense wants to get rid of that 0. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
On 2nd and 11 now. Hurts. He finds his man, complete. That's Roth. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. From the gun, it's Hurts. Open man, that's Devontae Smith. And he is going to have an Eagles 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now, they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. Flushed out right. And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19. To throw again on 2nd down. Hurts. And he's going to lose a yard or 2. Taken down behind the line. It's a loss of a yard, so they'll wind up crediting him with a sack, and it brings up 3rd down. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. And they'll get to him short of the 1st down at about the 16. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down. It hurts not coming to the sideline. They're going to go for it. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. The kick by Pinheiro is good. And now they'll just need 4 touchdowns as the deficit is now 28. spectator for much of this game. This is his first field goal opportunity of the entire contest, but he's able to connect.
Yeah, he had a pretty good seat to this one, didn't he? But let's face it, all kickers that you and I know, they want to contribute. They want their opportunity, and he seized his.
This will be fielded inside the 5. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The possession switching back to the New York Giants. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. They'll run on first down. It's Jackson. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 50 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling? But inside is thinking 24-hour rule because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants him to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Throwing again on second down. Hurts. Throw left side complete. That's Roth. So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And it's going to be third down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14. Here's Hurts to throw. He's going to let it fly. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. The Eagles send out their punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And this will be down just inside the 30-yard line. New York ready to go again offensively. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing,
And that's caught inside the 35. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Play action. Jones sliding out of the pocket. That'll be caught. It's Tony. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. And we've got a timeout. 9 seconds remaining. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. Looking to throw. Jones. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. And the Eagles come up with a late congratulations, as this ball game is now officially over. So a victory here for the men in blue, the New York Giants. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there are words that are said, and, hey, come on, guys, we have to play better. But sometimes it's just sharpening your execution, sharpening your focus, and maybe doing the things you practiced all week without major adjustments, just doing them better. And that got it done in this one.
So for the Giants, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll get another road date next week when they take on Washington. Meanwhile, for Philadelphia, they'll drop to 0-2, and they'll be at home for one next week as the Atlanta Falcons come to town. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.